Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. This video is my eyeshadow basics, blending tips, and brush recommendations. Here are the brushes I will be using in the video, along with the eyeshadow palette from Juvia's Place, the Chocolates and Taupes palette, and also I will be using the eyeshadow primer, the MAC paint pot, and laying low on my eyelids with this dense shader brush. This is going to make sure that my base for my eyeshadow is smooth and seamless. I'm also blending it out with a beauty sponge and blending out those edges and setting this with translucent powder. I'm also going to take that eyeshadow primer, the paint pot, on the lower lash line as well. First, I'm going in with this flat shader brush. It's dense. I'm going to pack that terracotta brown into the crease. As a beginner, I would always recommend using less eyeshadow, adding, instead of worrying about doing too much and having to blend it out. But this is just my process, guys. You'll find your own way on how you can do your eyeshadow for your eyes. Here I'm just taking that base along the lower lash line and that brown. I have a fluffy eyeshadow brush right here. I'm going to take a lighter brown shade from that same palette and start buffing those edges out. You can also use translucent powder. That is a game changer to make sure your eyeshadow blends out seamlessly. So one of my blending tips is definitely to have different brushes for different colors that you're using. This is going to help ensure that your color payoff doesn't get muddy on your looks, and also it's going to help your eyeshadow placement because you want to see all the colors speaking through your look. So I'm always tying that same crease color into the lower lash line. You'll see me do that later. When I'm deepening the crease, I'm taking that brush again. It's all about blending. You're just gonna blend and blend and blend until you think you can't blend enough. Here I'm taking a small fluffy blending brush with this cool tone. It's gonna deepen the crease like a black, but it's not gonna be as harsh as a black. And I'm using that to contour my crease and my outer V and my lash line. I really like using small brushes like this. It just helps the placement of your eyeshadows, the payoff of your eyeshadows, and it just really makes everything seamless. Like, it's all about the tools you use, your placement, your blending, and like I mentioned too, you will find your way on how to do your eye makeup for your eye. Not every eye look looks good on everybody. So you have to really figure out what's best for you. Here you see me, I'm starting to do a cut crease. So this look is a cut crease without me actually carving out the crease with concealer. Because to me, I feel like when you use concealer, it can make the look a little too dramatic, a little too harsh, a little dated. But here I'm just going to be doing a cut crease and I'm going to be using eyeshadow. And I'm going back in with that brush with the terracotta brown and just softening the edges of that cool gray. Really lately I've been into these browns and these ashy tones for eyeshadow, all matte looks. I don't know if it's just me getting older. I just find that it just looks so seamless and pretty lately. And here I'm taking that light brown and I'm putting it on the lid. And I'm starting to carve it out a little bit. And I took it in the inner tear duct and the inner lower lash inner tear duct as well. So I'm taking this flat shader, which is a game changer too. These smaller brushes really help enhance your eye looks. And I'm starting to slowly cut the crease. And you'll see me go back and forth with all the brushes. I'm not really adding any more eyeshadow to the brushes. I'm just using the different brushes to blend out that specific shade. Here you see this smaller brush just works so good buffing that color into the outer V. So this is a lot of repetitive blending back and forth. I wanted to keep this in here for you guys so you can see in real time my real process. Because it is a lot of back and forth. If you're looking in the mirror, you're making sure everything is seamless. And like here, I'm going a little bit above the cut crease. Above my natural cut crease, or my crease, to create that crease. And you can also wet your brush to make that color payoff for that shadow a little bit more intense. And you want to be careful. I noticed with this particular palette, you want to pack. You don't really want to sweep too much. Every eyeshadow formula is different. But I wanted to use products in this video that were affordable and easy to find. These palettes, I believe, are like 10 bucks. And a lot of these eyeshadow brushes I'm using, like the pink handle ones, are from the 99-cent store. And the black handle one are from Morphe. I wanted to make this video affordable. And even if you don't get what I'm saying as me explaining it, if you're just freshly starting out, you just watching me go back and forth and doing the same motions, you'll find your way. Here I'm using an angle brush, and I'm going to actually take this dark brown shade, and make it into a liner. And you can see spraying it is going to make it more opaque. I'm going to take that shade and start an outer V. I'm not creating a wing, I'm just tying everything together. It's so important to have liner when you're applying fake lashes, just so you can give the illusion like they're yours. So I really like using eyeshadow for eyeliner, and I like this because it just makes the look, give it that pop with that dark brown. It's not as harsh as black. So black can close off your eyes. It can age you. I'm never done blending. I'm always blending. And remember to take your time. You don't have to rush. You're not, take your time. Learn your own process for your eye makeup with your eye shape. To do an all matte look, just to show you that you can just work with, I work with 4 shades, and just to create this like smoky, sultry matte look. And then I use the eyeshadow, and I just wet my brush to create the liner. I didn't do a wing, I just connected it to the outer part of my eye and just wrapped it around my under eye and my lashes, my lash line, excuse me, and just tied those shades that I used on the upper lid to the lower lid. I'm gonna apply mascara and then do lashes, and that will wrap up my eyeshadow look for beginners. So this started with the upper crease up into the brow bone, then I deepened the crease, and then I did the lid and did the work that way. So this is just an example what you can do for an all matte look. You don't have to, this is a little dramatic, but you don't have to be as dramatic. You could just do 3 colors and not have any definition. But I think it's important for this look, and since it's matte, to have definition. If I was using like a shimmer, like the shimmer shades in the palette, I wouldn't have done like a defined cut crease like I did with this look. But this just takes a little practice, and you've seen that I use different brushes to achieve this look. So you want to use a different brush. That is gonna be the #1 tip I can give you to blend out your eyeshadow. Using different brushes is gonna really concentrate the color and it helps the eyeshadows not get so muddy. So if I was using the same brush for the darker shade and the warm brown, you wouldn't be able to see a little bit of that warm brown peeking through. So it's important to use different brushes so your eyeshadows don't look muddy and you can kind of see the shades. And these are actually affordable. I picked these up at the 99-cent store. I will definitely put some brush recommendations in the description box, but my brushes vary. I have many different brushes from different places. I'm actually going to do a brush declutter here on my channel. This for the darker brown to kind of pack that shade and kind of carve out where I wanted the darker shade to go. Then I had these two smaller blending brushes to really go in and blend and kind of pack and blend the shades. And then I have these don't have numbers or names. They're from the 99-cent store. Then I use the Morphe brushes. So I use the Morphe M506. This is a really good brush, very good detail brush. So having a small brush like this is really gonna help. You see how it helped really define the crease? Really helpful. Then I also went in with the Morphe M421 to kind of cut the crease. I didn't want to go back in with concealer because I didn't want the concealer to alter the shade of the eyeshadow. So I just apply the eyeshadow and then I wet the brush. That helps the matte shade stand out and get more pigmented, and that helped me like carve the crease a little bit. And just going back and using the brushes back and forth just to blend it out helps. So having different brushes is key. And then I also, used a small angle brush to do the wing liner, and I used eyeshadow. And then of course you can do a shimmer shade instead of the matte. I really wanted to do the matte to kind of demonstrate the cut crease a little bit and show you a technique where you don't necessarily have to go in with concealer if you don't want to, or you may not have time to go in with concealer. You may just want to do a quick cut crease and call it a day. I feel like it's so much easier to go in, do a quick cut crease with a shimmer opposed to a matte, especially for me. I'm just used to it, but I really love how this turned out. Eyeshadow Basics. Let me actually look at this real quick. So I have different classes I offer: face application basics, how to fill in your eyebrows, how to do your wing liner, how to apply your eyelashes, makeup tools and brushes, what's in my freelance makeup kit, social media editing, as far as tips on how to take better selfies. So if you're interested, send me an email down below. I would love to work with you and help you on your makeup skills. I love sharing my tips on makeup and just, teaching women, or being that makeup buddy, that makeup artist friend that you can bounce things off or get, information from. I don't get intimidated about sharing tips that I have, because what I do is always going to be different than the next person or the next makeup artist. So I don't never feel threatened to share my tips on makeup and all the things I learn, because we all have different juice, you know, like my dad used to say. So how I do my eyeshadow is not going to be exactly the same as the next person, or how I contour my face is not going to be the exact same. Just like, for example, like a recipe, like, okay, you may give me a recipe on how to make, you know, potato salad. I might just scan it, which I really don't follow recipes, but I'm still gonna add whatever I want to add. So to say all that, I'm just saying everyone's got their own juice, their own energy they put into a flow. So I never feel threatened about sharing makeup knowledge or information. That's why I have a YouTube channel, you know. Makeup, I mean, you can never know everything in makeup, and there's so many products on the market now. It's just so fun to share. It's so fun to learn things. So if you would like to work with me, email me. I'm gonna leave it down below. Thankful for you watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.